Last question.
Okay.
You said this is the brokest you've ever seen America.
He's right. That's
I've
a
never
fact.
seen, especially since I've been home. Because, you know, I drop films, I do all kind of stuff. This is the brokest I've ever seen America. It's more Fortune 500 companies going bankruptcy than I ever saw.
Right.
Sales are the lowest in everything that you're putting out.
Right.
People just don't have the money to do this extra shit and pay bills.
Yeah.
You have to pick a choice now.
Right. And I want to tell all you black folks that knew your grandfather, when he told you save all your money for a rainy day, don't spend it all one place. This is what he meant by that rainy day. Right now, ownership and shit that you could not afford is available. Some of these things are going to be around forever. Why not invest? Why not? All these electric car companies, we got it on the books. There's so many cars got to be electric by 2028. Why you wouldn't buy stock in that while they having trouble?
Yeah.
You know, I know this, and people saying you don't know this, still this, and that. No, because I'm an entrepreneur.
Tell them, Boosie.
I look at sales. I look at everything. The world has never been this poor. I don't know what it is, Vlad, but people just don't have it.
Inflation is the biggest we've seen since the 80s.
Facts.
Yeah, even people who used to love to have a good time, they can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I know people who love to have a good time. Like, people just don't have it. I'm talking, I've never seen nothing like this before. Like,
and some of these people out here having a good time can't afford the good time they having, and then they gonna come back home after the good time and have bad times and be asking you for money. But we gonna leave that out the conversation.
Man, it's the world is in a bad situation right now. I don't know what we can do to change it.
Yeah. I mean, look, we had to lay off our whole writing staff. So, like, VladTV.com, the website, we talked about this. Like, the articles, the news, we shut that down a couple months ago just because we couldn't afford to keep it up anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the advertising rates have gone down, traffic has dipped, and people are also, you know, getting the news on social media for free, and the whole article is there. Then I go to the website. I had to make a tough decision. I mean, one of the girls that worked for me had been with me like 13 years.
Yeah.
Like, it hurt. Maybe even longer. Yeah, 13.
This is one of them things that bothers me, because nobody that works for Juan-o's World ever been laid off. Never, ever. But Vlad TV way bigger than Juan-o's World. And he talking about laying people off. And people don't understand my dissatisfaction with their lack of appreciation. This motherfucker make way more money than me. But I ain't never laid nobody off. I ain't never not paid nobody. People, hey, go on, tell them, Vlad.
13 years, it hurt. You know, and I gave people severance packages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember you was like, man, I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I feel sad about doing it, but ultimately I have to run, you know, I have to keep the business afloat. And that part was just, you know, not our core business. It was always kind of a side hustle. And after a while, a side hustle is going to go away.
Right.
And you got to get back to where the core is. But I want to say this.
I had to do the same. I had to slow up on my films.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to, man, it was.
I don't think he should have slowed up on his films.
It's making me hustle harder, but man, if you don't have no hustle right now in these times, the crime rate finna boost, man.
Yeah,
that's
the crime rate finna boost because
that's a fact.
It's not just us who provide jobs who don't have it. They don't have it in the hood neither. Like, I'm getting word like they just people who hustlers, people who always had it, don't have it anymore. Like, and they people just ain't got it no more. We're in a bad position in the United States as far as capital.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that like we're in a real bad position. Every day you see a company going bankrupt. Every day.
Yeah.
Every week.
Or massive layoffs.
Every week you see somebody, a company you've seen for years, and they back to back.
Well, yeah.
This restaurant, this Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm talking about everybody.
Red Lobster just filed bankruptcy.
Red Lobster, Express.
Lobster.
I'm pissed about Express. I love them fucking t-shirts. I'm pissed. Oh, I'm pissed.
They have some good t-shirts.
And look, and the reality is that when it comes,
the best t-shirts is the Stafford t-shirts that they sell at Macy's and JCPenney. They only come 3 in a pack for somewhere, depending on where you buy them at, between $25 and $45. But them the best t-shirts. Express t-shirts is good, especially if you wearing track suits or jogging suits like Boosie has. Them bitches is good because they breathe and they warm when you need it to be warm, but they don't stop you from being cool either. So I fuck with I can't hate
almost every company. You know what the biggest expense for almost every company is?
Staff.
The staff.
The staff.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
That's the biggest expense.
Typically about 40%.
Staffing. And so when you lay them off, who don't know how to do crime, what they do? Fraud.
Yeah.
That's when the fucking fraud gonna come. That's when you're separating marriages. That's when all this shit come.
Right.
Because money brings problems.
Facts.
Money brings problems, bro. I don't know what the fuck we need to happen. We might need another COVID. We need something. I don't give a fuck. We need something because if you got a company right now, you're gonna have to make decisions.
Yes.
And see, that's the problem with what's going on in America right now. Because you see what Boosie said, he's right. And he's from the South, so he knows. And that's what Joe Biden about to do. Because this is America, and we make the best, strongest shit. So if we get involved in a war, we gonna be selling shit to both sides. That's gonna get us out of debt. That's gonna get the economy going. This, that, and the other. But it's gonna cause a lot of damage. But that's the democratic way. And that's why I'm done with that shit. You heard what he said. Something need to happen. We need another COVID or something. Nah. He right, but he wrong. We don't necessarily need another crisis. We need to reorganize and reiterate. Maybe even relitigate a couple things. And we need to get right within. But if Trump is elected, we gonna do that one. If Biden keep going, we're gonna end up going to war to fix the economy. But no matter what, the economy is gonna be fixed. Because the S&P 500 been growing like a motherfucker, even with all of them companies falling off. So with that being said, it's only one way to facilitate that. And that's to make new companies stronger. And how? To create a new industry for them. And war is always an industry for new technology and new shit and new people, especially seeing how America has given away a lot of our war resources to other fucking countries. So we don't have none of our basic shit. We got all our top grade, top notch shit, but we don't have none of our basic shit. And being from Detroit, I know. All of these little factories still got all of they fucking presses and stamps and shit like that for the real shit. And it could be made in a heartbeat. And it'll revitalize everything. And then we could sell shit and then bomb the people we sold the shit to. That's pretty much the American way. But we need to change that.
Yeah. We had to make decisions. I can't pay people the same amount that I've paid people. You know, even appearance fees had to slightly, go down.
Yeah, man. It's the same thing with me.
And people I talk to, they understand. They're like, no, fuck it, no. They're like, we get it, Vlad. We get it. Certain people that used to get appearance fees don't get appearance fees anymore. It's like, listen, if you want to do the platform, I can't pay you this time. If things change, I got you. But the reality is reality. But here's the important part about this. I want everyone to listen very carefully because this has happened to me. I remember in 2000, I had a booming business and employees and a big office. Now spending it as fast as it would come because I figured it would keep coming forever. The dot-com crash happened, wiped me out. This situation that we're in right now is not going to last forever.
Yeah.
At one point, the economy will go up, money will come back, and so forth. So I want everyone who's going through it right now to listen very carefully. If you're fucked up right now and you have no savings and you're worried about paying your rent, paying your bills, you have to realize that part of this is your fault. It's your own fault for not putting money aside, for not investing your money, for spending it as soon as you get it, for buying unnecessary things, for buying clothes, vacations, cars that you can't really afford, being in a house or an apartment that's way too expensive, and so forth. You have to live conservatively because when these situations come, and they will come, whether it's the economy, whether there's a health issue, whether there's an accident, losing your job, things out of your control or things in your control, make sure that you have a financial base that you're prepared to live off of for a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. When I went broke and I was living on people's couches and I was essentially homeless, I said, the next time I get some money, this is not going to happen to me again. And right now, when things are fucked up, I have a financial base. You have a financial base. You're not going to lose your house. You're not going to have to sell all your cars when you're taking the bus. You don't have to sell a bunch of, you may have to sell some of your things. That's okay. We all got extra shit that we don't need.
Yeah.
I got a big watch collection. If I have to sell a few watches, oh well, boo-hoo. But I have been conservative year after year and built up my savings, built up my investment accounts. I've showed you my investment accounts.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking. You know what I'm talking about. I built them up to the point where I can weather 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years if I need to, wait for things to come down. And during these times when you have money, cash is king. Those Richard Mille watches that were $350 a year ago, you can get them from $150 now.
Yeah.
These stocks are low sometimes. These various things, these sales are getting better and better. If you have the money, you could actually take advantage of situations like this.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying. When they say save your money for a rainy day is not just when shit is bad for you. It's when shit bad for everybody. Because on a rainy day, you're going to be able to buy and own things at a number that you would have never been able to afford before. If you save your money. If you save your money, that one stock you wanted to invest in, but it was $100 a share. It might be $10, $20 a share now. And now you can afford to buy 100 shares. But that don't mean it ain't going back up to 100. Because the world needs that company. So it's going to be where it's supposed to be. And it's going to do what it's supposed to do. And what you got to understand is when shit gets bad for everybody, that's when you're supposed to go for what you believe in. Go for what you know. Go for what you know. That's like investing in craft. I don't have stock in craft. But what I do know about craft is poor people make sandwiches. And if they make the world poor, and on the process craft stock go down, what I know is people gonna still want that Kraft mayonnaise, even though I don't eat that shit. Or that Kraft Miracle Whip, even though I don't eat that shit. You understand? Because they ain't gonna be able to have none of the other luxuries. But having that, I don't like Kraft barbecue sauce, but it is a good base. You say, what is a base? A base is some shit that tastes like barbecue sauce that you pour in a pot and you mix a bunch of shit in there to taste like barbecue sauce.
But know that if you're fucked up right now, and it's okay that you're fucked up, internalize it. Don't think it's not your fault. It is partially your fault. In fact, it's probably mostly your fault. Internalize it, realize the mistakes you made when things were good, and live your life different for when this does happen again and you're older, you'll be able to weather it. The way I'm weathering it, the way Boosie's weathering it. Don't feel like it's not out of your control. It's not. It's been in your control. You built this house. You didn't go buy a $10 million house. Let me tell you something. I interviewed Grant Cardone in his $40 million Malibu mansion.
Yeah.
On Billionaire's Beach.
Yeah.
He spends $400,000 a year in property taxes.
Yeah.
$400,000 a year just to keep the house, and he hasn't been there in a year. You know, Airbnb, the house out or nothing. If you manage your money and you know what you're doing, you don't have.
Now Vlad leaving something out. When you somebody like Grant Cardone, you gotta spend that money or you gonna give it away to the tax man. You gonna give it away to the tax man. Now somebody like Grant Cardone, he has to. He brings in so much money cash flow a year from all of them rental doors. He has to spend that money, and he has to spend that money on things that has maintenance, so he can write off the maintenance and the depreciation as well as the taxes. So when you get to that position where you're a billionaire, where you sitting on billions, but you bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars a year, you have to spend that money, and it's a lot better to spend that money in ways like that you can in turn sell those assets and reinvest that money with limited tax liability. Because let's be clear, me making $150,000 on the W-2 and giving up 38% of my income is one thing. But motherfucker, if I made 30 million and you wanted 40%, that's a whole nother other thing. Now, either way is my money. But technically, if I make 150,000 and you take 38%, I can still buy all the same shit. But if I make 30 million a year and you take 40%, I'm in a jam. Because my pussy bill, my motherfucking gas bill, my car maintenance bill, my security bill, all them bills is different. That don't mean that I like giving up 38% of my little 150,000 that I get on my W-2. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. I don't like that shit so much, I max out. That's another video. But I learned that shit from Anton Daniels. Shout out to that nigga. I max out on my 401k, but what Anton ain't having his job was that stock plan. So I get to max out in another way to offset what I pay in taxes, and at least that money will be there later. You know what I'm saying? Pay me a little dividend. The stock and then pay me, my son like $600 jeans and shit like that. So when the dividend check come from that stock, we might go treat ourselves, or we might reinvest it. But we got the option. I feel what Vlad talking.
To sit there and hustle and scramble or whatever else. If you had bought a house for $20 million and your situation was fucked up right now, you owe the property tax, everything else you may have had to sell right now. But instead, you're a conservative. Bought a piece of land. Slowly start building the house. Built it up piece by piece, piece by piece. So now, when things are hard, you ain't got to sell shit. But when you went to prison and you had the big mansion with the mortgage, what happened?
Lost it.
You lost it all.
3 years in, lost it.
Exactly. You learned from your mistakes.
Right. I just bought 26 acres day before yesterday.
Good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You learn from your mistakes. You knew not to.
Now the thing about him buying them 26 acres and all the land he bought that land from the original owners in Georgia. So them property taxes is grandfathered in. So even though he didn't acquire, damn near 130 acres of land down there, all of that land is grandfathered in at that tax rate. And then he bought it in such a way to where he didn't create a liability for himself, but an asset. Now, all he need to do is bury somebody on that land. Then he really gonna be winning. And then once he put certain type of animals on that land, then he really gonna be winning. And then it starts to pay for itself. And these are the things that we be missing in information where we trying to come up. Because generational wealth is not leaving however many dollars. Generational wealth is leaving things in ownership to your legacy that continues to produce money, i.e. life insurance for everybody in the trust, property, farms, people gonna always need food, cemeteries, and things of that nature. And that's why you got a lot of these things going on. Now watch what you about to see. With all of these interest rates and things going on, going bad, you're about to see a lot of cemeteries buying up areas around them and expanding because they got cash on hand. Not to mention they got credit scores fucking 100 years old. So you're going to see a little bit of that, and hopefully the interest rates fall, and you're going to see the rest of these cities fill in. Hopefully not with migrants. Because there's so many states that's empty that they can send the migrants to. So hopefully that if the cities fill in with actual residents that want to be there, that's from here. America, that is.
Overextend yourself this time around.
Yep.
Right.
And that's why you are where you are. That's where I am where I am. Because, oh man, if I was fucked up at 50 right now, ooh, it'd be, the older you get, the more fucked up you'll be.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, most of the people that bring me my Postmates and DoorDash are people that are older than me. And I feel bad for them. I feel bad. Me doing Postmates at 50, 60 years old, that's a sign of bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing against people who do it. It's just you don't want to be there. That's all I want to say about that matter. It's what it is, Boosie, man. And we go.
That's a fact. But I will say this. No matter where you at, if you got air in your lungs, it's an opportunity to do something different. And then all of us have been planting seeds in different things and in different people. And depending on what we gonna do, them seeds gonna sprout. So no matter what age you are, it's a chance to do something different. Every age that you may be older and it may seem like you further away from getting your goal, it also puts you in relationship with people who could, relationship and association with people who could more so help you along based on what it is you got planned and invested in yourself. So I would tell you, don't give up on yourself. If you've been fucking up your whole life, just know tomorrow is another chance to do differently. And it's a lot of, that's the problem with the world and why the economy is even worse than it should, because there's so much money for us to be made. Because Americans may make shit for a higher cost, but we make more quality shit, more custom shit, more to the customer shit. With that being said, it's always more money to be made, and all we have to do is just apply ourselves to that. That's it, none more, none less. And with that being said, don't give up on yourself. And if you sitting here watching some shit like that, it is your fault you broke. It is your fault you ain't got this and that. It is your fault, because you could have stuck here and built that. You could have saw this through and dealt with that. A lot of us deal with a lot of bullshit and then we walk away. But what we forget is you gotta deal. It wouldn't be right without the bullshit. So the bullshit you dealt with was for a reason, and you walk away after you done dealt with all the bullshit before the benefits come. And then you become a hater because somebody else walk up to the slot machine that you've been putting all the money into when you walk off and hit a jackpot with 2 quarters. Why you leave? If you believed in something, you gotta believe in it when it get bad too. That's the problem with a lot of black relationships, family, all that shit. Motherfuckers only believe in shit when it's good. You gotta believe in it when it's bad. You gotta believe in it when you don't like it. You gotta believe in it when it costs you money. You can't just believe in it when it'll make you look good. And that's why you can't win with it. And they right. America broke as fuck. And all y'all dummies running around here treating the people that truly care about y'all, that's truly prepared for America to go down, or to have a downtime rather, y'all treating them bad because y'all oblivious to what's going on. But let me tell you what all us bosses and hustlers and leaders been doing. We've been building, we've been saving, we've been planting seeds with everybody that's built strong enough to go on to the next phase in this country that we call home. And if you ain't one of them people, keep meeting up motherfuckers on corners, smoking your little weed, having your drink, laughs, shits, and giggles. Keep spending your money at restaurants that ain't gonna be there tomorrow. Keep making people waste what they got to show you they love you, just for y'all not to have shit together and love tomorrow. You understand? While the rest of us keep working on what need to be worked on. And we out this bitch. Funny. I've been having this conversation on YouTube for a long time, but ain't nobody heard me. I wonder if they gonna listen now Vlad and Boosie said it. We out.